All right, now we're going to do an inverse tangent problem. We're going to evaluate the inverse tangent of -1. And the definition, similar to the other inverse trig functions, y is the inverse tangent of x. That means the tangent of y is equal to x. But our angle y has to be between -90 and 90. And if we look at this as the graph of tangent, it just keeps repeating this pattern. So, but if, and this does not pass the horizontal line test, which means it's not 1-to-1. But if we just look at between -90 and 90, then it passes the horizontal line test. It's 1-to-1, which means it has an inverse. Now, notice here we do not equal -90 or 90. That's where inverse sine and inverse cosine, these were equal any type of inequalities. We don't equal because it's not defined there. We got an asymptote. So it's not defined there. That's the reason why it's like that. Well, to evaluate this, it's just like inverse sine and inverse cosine. Step one is let y equal our expression, inverse tangent of -1. Take the tangent of both sides. We get the tangent of y. The tangent of inverse tangent -1 is just -1. Well, we got to be between -90 and 90. -90 and 90. All trig functions are positive in the first quadrant. Because this trig function is negative, we need to draw a reference triangle in the fourth quadrant between -90 and 0. Well, if this is our y here, then tangent is opposite over adjacent, 1/1. We could think of tangent y, think of it as -1/1, whatever. This is below the x-axis, and these are negative numbers, basically. These are positive x values on this side of the y-axis, so that's positive. That's essentially a negative number. That's why we get our -1, -1/1. So this is the 1, square root of 2 triangle. And we can see here that y, this is 45 degrees. This is the 45, 45, 90 triangle. So y is -45 degrees. Again, we don't want to report this angle 315 degrees because 315 is not between -90 and 90, but -45 is between -90 and 90. So this is our value of y. We started by letting our expression equal y because y is -45 degrees. The inverse tangent of -1 is -45 degrees.